Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you this episode is brought to you by patrons like Ahaga Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Nestor Flores, Sotosan0424, and VideoGamer75. If you like what we do and want to see us do this more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it really help us out. Thanks for your support, everybody. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is time once again to talk about Legend of Five Rings role-playing by Fantasy Flight Games. No, this is not the long-awaited Courts of Stone review, because still no PDF. We'll talk about that later. And no, this isn't a new episode of Enter the Dojo, because I don't have time to record that right now. But anyway, I have time to record a new short announcement. I think I said record there. Anyway, which is, hey, remember that news everybody wanted out of Gen Con? Well, it's here now. New RPG supplement. It's Path of Waves. So this is the usual type of announcement, and we'll go into details in a second. But basically, this is the usual two-pronged announcement from FFG. There's going to be a new RPG source book, and there's going to be a new adventure. There's the usual pre-order stuff. And then you'll wait about 2 months for a PDF to come out, if you're me. Anyway, there's no point in dawdling. Let's just go ahead and jump into the description of Path of Waves and then the adventure, Sins of Regret. So basically, here's the short version of the blurb. You can read all this on the news article on their website. But this is going to be a 256-page source book. It's going to offer players a comprehensive guide to what they say is Ronin, commoners, and gaijin who live in the fringes of Rokugani society. So Path of Waves is a fringes and outsider. It's billed as the essential guide to Ronin, but yeah, it's going to be all kinds of fringes and outsiders. It's going to be inspired somewhat by the Musha Shugyo, the warrior's pilgrimage. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Take a chance to take a new look at Rokugan as a renegade peasant, a bitter Ronin, or a curious gaijin. So that's going to be a lot of those things. We'll include new 20 questions, options, and answers, and advice for making outsider characters in games. And we'll include information on foreigners and the Ivory Kingdoms, which, funnily enough, not in the version you're going to see because I'm going to fix it, but in the version of my notes I took to record this video is Kingdom with a W, but don't worry about that. Anyway, that's a rough outline of the book. Also, it says that it's broken into 7 chapters. So basically, I've told people this before because they probably weren't familiar with the Star Wars format. But this is the way L5R is handled is heavily inspired by how Fantasy Flight handled Star Wars stuff. So what for Star Wars was the core source books, the splats were career-focused. It seems more like those are clan-focused now, but those are the 3-chapter dealies, right? So that's, okay, so here's the front half, which is like lots of fluff, player-facing options and stuff, describing things. In Star Wars, those contain the new character options, but it makes sense for them to kind of lump those back. The second chapter is, okay, here's nothing but player options. Here's new, here's a new minor clan selection, a new family selection, here's some new schools, here's a bunch of new items and rules and other stuff that you can use. And then the third section is all GM stuff. This is not that. This is 7 chapters, which means it's going to be like Emerald Empire. There's going to be presumably 6 fluff-style chapters and then 1 big player option-style chapter. That might actually be the first one, the way the article describes it. But anyway, presumably what this is going to add is it's going to add lots of different fluff on different things. Because we're hitting kind of a trifecta, I expect maybe 2 chapters per subject, so it'll be like 1 chapter will be Ronin in general, and maybe like Ronin Brotherhood organizations or how Ronin function. There'll be a second one which may be on Clan Ronin, like what happens to Ronin who are disgraced or disowned, and also what happens when you do the Warrior's Pilgrimage, the Musha Shugyo, okay, I'm going to take a year off, basically, and I'm going to go study the world because this is my last opportunity to do that before I am permanently in my duty. Possibly with an undertone of, and if I don't think I can return to my duty, I can just have left the clan, and that's that kind of thing. If I decide that I really don't want to be employed, I can take a gentle out rather than be hugely disowned. But we'll see what kind of fluff that stuff is. And then they're going to talk about commoners. It could be a Heyman-Hinnon split. It could be some more stuff. They'll talk about, it says renegade peasant, so it may talk about something that's hinted at in Emerald Empire, which is like peasant unrest and uprisings, what happens when the samurai don't uphold their half of the social contract kind of stuff. and other looks. And then, presumably, they said they're going to do detail on the Ivory Kingdoms and hopefully some other stuff. I expect we'll see some information about the Burning Sands reprinted. Maybe not a lot, but just a little bit of like, okay, so here's the general things you need to know about that. I'm also expecting, because it's weird, the article uses the phrase foreign gaijin, which leads me to believe that there may also be what you would basically think of as non-foreign gaijin, i.e. Yobanshin and other people on the borders. You may, for instance, not just across the Burning Sands, but also get some information on the Ujik tribes, because there are actually a decent number of those guys left who are not officially unicorn, etc., etc. Stuff like that. And in general, I'm expecting to see not a huge amount, but a handful of new schools and stuff. The new character creation or campaign rules will probably outline how you handle that as like a peasant, because that's a question I had was like, I don't know. I mean, it could be interesting to do. Like, you could do probably like an Ashigaru type school, right? Because you can basically end up as a career Ashigaru and be trained in a castle dojo. One of the characters at the Highwayman adventure, which clearly this was supposed to tie into at Gen Con, was a Hinin or a Barakuman quote-unquote artisan. They were a potter who wanted to be a craftsman but was born in the wrong caste. So there might be stuff like that, like a craftsman school. I'm hoping with like new 20 questions and character creation options, it'll handle that and like kind of address, because that was a problem that plagued older versions, was we don't want you to be Ronin because Ronin don't have to play by society's rules, so Ronin schools are just crappier. Which the Worldly Ronin path is not. You don't get, like, super secret ultimate hidden abilities, but it's the reverse of the trope of sacrificing basic skill for awesome powers. You sacrificed awesome powers to be really good at basic things. Even better than some of those rank 5 or rank 6 clan samurai. But yeah, also, I really hope Ronin Shugenja, like, I know a lot of people in my circles in the community have been thinking, oh, maybe they'll do that because they did Mercenary Ninja in the Shinobi book, and maybe they'll do Ronin Shugenja tradition in the like a Phoenix like Shugenja-y type book. I feel like they're probably going to do it in this one instead, and I hope they do, because that's just saving page space. And talk about what you do if you're a Shugenja and you're a Ronin, because or a peasant even. That's kind of a weird gray area, right? Where it's kind of implied that the great clans can kind of come take you, like especially as a peasant, but also not really elaborated. So that would be a good little, not a whole chapter, but a good subsection. And there'll be lots of previews in the future. So let's briefly touch on Sins of Regret next. So as always, there's going to be a companion adventure. Well, I shouldn't say as always. I just described Emerald Empire, which did not really have a companion adventure to it, unless you want to count like, Castle of the Emerald Champion. But that was a follow-up to the beginner game, so no. But the trend now is there's a companion adventure, which is possible for all characters, but is thematically linked to the thing. So that's our first bullet point. They say that the story of Sins of Regret is compatible with all PC types, but it works best for Ronin, or it synergizes particularly well with Ronin. So you can take your adventures to a small village called the Twin Blessings, which has fallen on hard times since the elements became unbalanced, and you will meet Lord Jikai of Closed Shell Castle, and he's in a bit of a bind, much as his peasants are. So Twin Blessings is said to be having disease, famine, accidents, that kind of superstitious stuff. But Lord Jikai has his own problems. He's got courtiers and vassals trying to undermine him. He's haunted by ghosts, kind of thing. And then basically the adventure is going to present you one of the classic L5R type challenges, right? Like, okay, there are peasants in distress, especially if you're Ronin, obviously you're going to care about those. But even samurai, compassion, courtesy, that kind of stuff. But there's also the Lord you need to shore up, so it's going to be that kind of like classical conflict of like, okay, well, he's supposed to be in charge, but also he's having problems doing his job, so, that kind of back and forth. Seems kind of interesting. Well, obviously there's no PDF of the Winter Court thing, so I can't catch up on that. More gripes on that later. But, like, was it Mask? I think it was Mask of the Oni. I can remember if it's Mark or Mask, but I think it was Mask. Mask of the Oni. That one didn't really grip me, because I have my own opinions on Shadowland stuff, which is contrary to lots of people. I know lots of people were like, ooh, Shadowlands is really lowballed. Me getting into this from like Japanese pop culture and stuff, I'm like, man, I don't like how strongballed the Shadowlands taint is. That kind of goes against the thematics for me, but I guess it was the 90s and we need death spirals. Anyway, Sins of Regret does sound kind of interesting as like that classic counterpoint, and there'll be some, I'm guessing there'll probably be some interesting things going on in there to figure out. And of course, there's the whole tokens, maps, etc., etc. They're also doing the classic pre-order thing. If you physically pre-order, you do that. I know some people don't like that. And also, I know that I'm pretty sure Asmodee said they were going to knock that off after a while. I just don't know. My suspicion is that they've realized that people, at least lots of industry people, aren't happy about the pre-order exclusivity, but they've probably, like, arranged their whole year to, like, pilot this out, so it's probably too late to go back. For a while, anyway. But we'll see. Anyway, that's Sins of Regret. I got kind of nasally at the end there. Oops. And that's basically a wrap there. So now is the part where I complain that there's still no PDF for Courts of Stone, as far as I know, because DriveThru hasn't sent me an email about it. That's right, I have notifications turned on. And Fantasy Flight hasn't said anything. It's been like a month and a half, 2 months. I'm a little nettled. I'm continuing my absolute all-out boycott. I will not give them any money until they release the PDF. That's how it's going to be. So, Fantasy Flight, if you're listening, love you. I don't know what process that is to do that, but I'm pretty sure that, considering you guys run Genesis Foundry right now, if I wanted to upload a PDF to DriveThru and sell it, I could probably do it in an afternoon. So, I don't know. I'm willing to give you guys some slack because you were busy at Gen Con and there were some snafus there, but, like, seriously, it should take the intern at your office, like, 5 minutes. How big are these files? I mean, I can download them, and I got a regular old standard-ass internet connection. Anyway, enough ragging on them. Because I love it, I'm going to buy it. I hate because I love. I tease because I love. But yeah, so look forward to a review of Courts of Stone 2 months after it came out when they give me the PDF I can read. I'm super interested to read it. The lack of it has stalled my writing of my own L5R campaign because I want to write about Kyuden Doji, but I'm like, I don't want to do all this research into the old lore and then just have them drop the new lore on me, which will probably have more interesting and current relevant plot hooks in it. But anyway, that's that. So, yeah. So I will say, with the Dragon novella still coming out nebulously sometime, also, yes, I'll review that when it comes out. I will buy that physical just because that's the only way to get the appendixes. Also, I don't have to share it with anybody, so, $15 or $10 or whatever it is. I think it's 15. Whatever the price is for a hardback novella that I'm just going to read personally is way more manageable than hardcover RPG books. Anyway, with that still coming out, I still expect that our next clan source book may alphabetically be Dragon. I don't know. We'll have to see whether or not they do it. That did seem to be the trend with Crab then Crane. But also it just so happened that those two things intersected with themes that Fantasy Flight wanted to hit pretty quickly, obviously. And like I said this earlier, I've been telling people for a while that you can expect two kinds of books. So the clan books are not the only thing they're going to release. They're going to release other books like Path of Waves. Path of Waves is kind of interesting that it's coming so soon, but I do also know lots of people are interested in Ronin characters, Ronin games, kind of like figuring out that fringe element. I've said this on other shows before. I kind of, at least for my core L5R campaign, I kind of like to play to the actual social structure and stuff, because that's where a lot of the interest is and the juxtaposition, but Ronin-type stuff is also a very popular, like, subgenre here, so that's cool, too. I think I even got a comment on a recent Enter the Dojo, which is like, can we talk about Ronin characters? And I'm like, hey, buddy, book for you. When that book comes out, I'll review it and talk about some of the details and stuff. And who knows, maybe I can do an Enter the Dojo on the Worldly Ronin School anyway. That's an entirely different topic, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, Enter the Dojo is a series I do where I kind of do a deep dive on schools in 5th edition. I talk about not only the kind of skills and techniques and school abilities you pick up, but kind of talk about the directions they force your character in, do a little bit of fluff discussion about what the school lets you do or makes you good at doing versus what it doesn't, so that kind of shapes your character, right? Because if you want to be good at your school and you want to rise your school rank, that tends to push you in a direction, whereas expanding outside of it can kind of slow your development and make you do different things. And I've done one of those for every Great Clan now. And I'm not entirely sure where the next one is, but look for it in the next couple of weeks. All right, well, I've jawed your ears off long enough. We're going to wrap up now. So keep an eye out for Path of Waves and Sins of Regret coming sometime. Keep an eye out for that PDF, because you know I'm going to make a video about it as soon as that comes out. And, yeah, that's going to be everything. All right, so if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to give us a like. If you have any comments, your reactions to the book, for instance, or the adventure, got to remember there's 2 products here. Leave those in the comment section down below. You can also join our Discord. That link's in the description. We do stuff there. Talk to people. Talk to me. And, of course, even if you're already subscribed, consider... actually, wait. I'm supposed to say, please subscribe if you haven't already first. I got distracted by talking about Discord. Then I tell you that even if you're already subscribed, hit the bell for notifications. Both ways let you know when we post a new video. So they're both great for you. And, of course, like it says at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early. You can get access to audio recordings of stuff. Our RPG schedule is getting a little hazy, but at some point I will be doing L5R actual plays. So if you want like audio downloads of that, support us on Patreon for the $1 level. Get videos early, other good stuff. Hang out with us. Have a special play to hang out with us on Discord, other things. Alrighty. Well, I'll see you in the next video, whatever that type is. Look forward to Enter the Dojo later this month. Look forward to reviews of Courts of Stone whenever that PDF drops. And future L5R RPG products. News and more. I've got some other videos on some FFG products if you care about those. And check out our show What's Up with Omega and Lucky. I'm Omega, by the way. We talk about role-playing frequently. So check that out. All right. Thanks for your time, everybody. And normally I would say to like stay honorable or something, but now we're dirty Ronin and gaijin, so I don't know. Be quick with your swords, guys. Everybody stay sharp out there.